To warm you up, just to get the blood flowing, we have prepared a rapid fire round. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not just something random, it's directly related to placements. So we got many questions, and people wanted to know which things to focus on while preparing for placements, because there are many verticals, right? So
Right.
in the next 5 minutes, I'll be listing out many of the points, and you have to rate them between 1 to 10. Like, for
Okay.
example, I'll ask you how important is internship experience. So you would rate it between 1 to 10 with respect to how important it is for placements. I think,
Got it.
do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, I understood
All
completely.
right. So let's I'll be starting the rapid fire round. You have to say the answer pretty quickly.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. English and communication,
I think 7,
competitive programming,
11. Out of 10, I rate
internship,
11. Internship
internship,
is
yeah.
6,
Okay. Data structures,
11,
online certificates,
4,
open source,
8,
confidence and personality,
9,
projects,
7.
resume,
It's 10,
hackathons,
7.
and most asked question, CGPA,
CGPA is 4.
debatable, right? Okay,
Yeah.
college, name of the college.
It's I would go 4, maybe 4 or 3.
Okay, digital footprint,
It's 6,
development experience,
7,
branch of your subjects and branch.
5.
Okay, so that was the list. So one interesting point I just realized was you gave confidence and personality a 9, which is even more than open source and CGPA, college, and many other things. So why do you feel is that? Why is confidence and personality important? Because
Okay,
that is
so
something not technical. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll tell you. So like according to my experience, so I got rejected in like HR rounds of 22 companies, including all, like you said, right, Microsoft and all. So I got rejected in HR rounds. So one thing that I believe, highly believe, is the confidence and your personality and how you speak really matters a lot, because it's not about only solving the problem in the company, but you have to communicate your solution to your consumers, your clients. So that is really important. Like, it's not
Yeah.
only how you write the code, it's all about like how you explain the code, how you explain your solution. So that's really important. Like, that is something that it's like knowledge is of no use if you can't transmit it. So I think this is really
Okay.
important. Like, everyone should focus on this. So
Okay. Okay.
if yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw you gave competitive programming and data structures 11, not even a 10. So do you want to emphasize on that?
Yes, sure. So see, like before becoming a software developer, like one should become a software engineer, and software engineer is one
Yeah,
who knows the fundamentals. I mean, like
yeah,
fundamentals of computer, including that is basically data structures, competitive coding, and databases, and then operating system, then networks. And why the competitive programming is really important and data structure is really important, because this is something, no, this is not gonna change in for next 100 years. I can say, like, from beginning, like array was there. If there are new languages coming every day, but every language has the same data structure: array, queue, linked list, everything will be
yeah.
same. So that's why the bigger companies, all the product based companies, they focus on only this. Well, let's say, like, we like none of the companies expect something from the freshers that they must be knowing machine learning. No, but you must be knowing data structure and algorithms, because this is something that will make you a better developer in future. So like when I
Mhm.
started web development, I think like HTML was the best thing. I knew HTML. I felt like, okay, I am a web developer. And then Bootstrap came, then Angular came, then React came. So it keeps on changing. But I read about arrays in my 11th standard, and now also I'm reading about the arrays. It's not gonna change.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why all
So
the companies, data is really important.
So data structure and algorithm have been tested through the wheel of time, and you feel they are very fundamental. So
Yes,
they're going nowhere. So
yes,
and it's a good base for testing the intelligence of the ones they're
true.
going to recruit.
Yeah.
So this is the reason, as the legend has said it, guys, competitive programming and data structure is supposedly most important, and some other are confidence, projects, even open source. Vinith said eight, so that's another pointer. English and communication is important, and what Vinith doesn't think important is college and CGPA. Why do you think these are not important?
So, like, let's talk about Postman only. So, in Postman, like, we have people from IIT Bombay as well, from VIT. I'm there, and there are two more guys. And there are we have a people like when we ask like from which college you are, so they are like, okay, we you won't know. Like, they are from very remote places and remote colleges, and they are still working with us. So it's not like so college doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter. So nowadays, like. I mean, like even for if you talk about Google or any bigger companies, even Netflix and all, Spotify, there also you'll find like people from the different colleges and they are doing better than ITNs and NITNs or also VITNs. Like VIT is now a
Okay.
good college, but that doesn't
Okay.
matter. Like once you have a good profile, good knowledge, good skills, the college won't matter. For the initial cut, I would say like you might get lesser opportunity. Let's say if you are in VIT, you will receive a lot of companies will be coming. But if you are in some XYZ college, there will be lesser companies as a freshers. But yeah, once you go for off campus, there won't be any difference according to your college. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why.
Okay. So, do you feel the value of a college degree is degrading over time? Could you say that?
So it's no degree is always there. So degree is something like you it's kind of it's like license. Like no, not all doctors are very good surgeons, right? But everyone
Oh,
has the license. So if you
yeah,
have
yeah,
license, you can practice. So you can think of
yeah.
something like this. Like it's just I mean identification to you that you are graduated. That's it.
Okay, okay. Let's move on to would you rather. It's another some interesting activity we have planned. It's directly related to placement. There's nothing to worry. So
Okay.
let me just explain what the thing is. It's like I'll give you two choices. You have to choose one out of them.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right. For example, would you eat ice cream or would you eat mango? So it's like you would have to choose one. Like you cannot choose two at any cost. Although you can explain your answer later on. Okay. Like you can justify why you chose the option, but you cannot be like, yeah, both of them. But all right. So the first question would be, would you do competitive coding or make amazing projects in different tech stacks? What would be your choice be?
Competitive coding.
So why do you feel competitive coding is even better than projects? Because eventually we have to go on and make projects. So why do you give more weightage to competitive coding?
Yes, so I'm assuming that all the viewers are students now. For students, the most important things would be competitive coding because like once you are not a good coder, you can't be a good developer. So that's the minimum
Okay.
thing. Like first, you should be clear with the all these things to be in the parallel. Like once you should be a good coder as well as good developer. But first, you should be a good coder. So that's what I feel.
Okay. All right. All right. So maybe you were saying that in development also there are data structures used. There are basics of arrays and optimal code writing only begins when you're good at competitive coding. Is that what you want to emphasize on?
Yes, exactly.
All
So,
right. All
so
right.
even in
Great.
development also, you won't be able to write a scalable code, optimized code if you are not a good coder. Like you won't be able to select the good algorithm. So when you even write the front end code, there are also a lot of data structure concept involved there. Like once you see,
Mm.
like let's say, take an example of let's say in any e-commerce website, you see right the drop down, like the products drop down. So that's a kind of tree structure. You can assume that there can be two
Mm.
ways. Either you can hard code the whole thing and you can
Hmm.
use some smart techniques. You can have DFS over there. So it's all
Okay.
about like these things, and also the optimization is there, and the scalable. Then only you can write a scalable UI. So I'm talking about
Okay.
UI. So that's something that everyone thinks that there is no logic involved, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is logic there as well.
All right. This is something really new because I always thought design is more of a creative thing. But now that you're telling me, I think there can be some logic involved in that.
Yes, yes. So it's like design is something like there are two things. Like once who are completely designer, like UX people, they
Yeah.
just design mocks on, let's say, Figma or maybe some other software, and there is
Yeah.
someone who write the code for that. So that
Yeah.
involves something else. So front end is not only CSS. There are a lot of things there. Like yes,
All right, all right. So, guys, whatever question you're asking, we'll get there. Don't worry. So, Vinny, my next question would be, it's sort of VIT centric, but it also applies to all the engineering colleges as well. So, the question is, would you join clubs and chapters for networking or focus more on competitive coding? Like, I'll explain it further. Like, when we join clubs and chapters, our attention and time do get divided. So, would you
yes.
just keep focusing on competitive coding or also join clubs and chapters?
See, like joining the clubs and chapter will help you to get into touch with good people. And I believe that you should be in a good company to be good, right? And once like
Yeah.
let's say you are coding by yourself, so you can't judge yourself. Like once you
Yes,
talk
yes.
with good people, then only you will come to know. I think the clubs and chapter helps you to build your network and to build your
Yeah.
like good friends. Like there you will find good coders and you can learn from them, you can teach them, and you learn the
Yeah.
teamwork, which is really very important if you want to success in like any company or in your life. Like you should be a good team
Okay.
player. So that is something that you
Okay.
will learn.
Yeah, yeah. So, maybe whatever I can do in 24 hours, maybe a team can do that in 2 hours. And also, learning in a team is much more exponential, I feel. Is
Yes,
that
true.
what? Is that so?
Yeah, true.
So, in Postman, how do you ensure good team working? What are the small tips so that you guys have a good environment and you how do you what are the tools that you use to collaborate and work in teams?
Okay, so basically, like in Postman, like all the teams are divided into squads. So we call it a squads. So it's like if for a single product, there will be one squad, and there will be like end-to-end deliverable for that, like from the conceptualization till the delivery, and in between, like
Okay.
every team will have their own designers, own content writer, and marketing people, and everything, and we collaborate together to make that. And for like for teamwork, we use a lot of softwares, like we use Jira, we use Confluence, and all the Atlassian
Okay.
products that we use. We use Slack for our communication.
All right, all right. Okay. So somebody is asking which website is good for competitive coding. Don't worry, guys. We have analyzed all your questions and we'll answer everything. In the end, if you're not satisfied, you will get a chance to ask your own questions. So, Vineet, our next question would be, this one is really interesting. Use Code Forces for competitive coding or use CodeChef for competitive coding?
Either, like it's
Either.
not about.
All right.
So I'll tell you one thing. Like I think like most of us give attempt to the IIT JEE, right? If we are
Yeah.
thinking of engineering, like that, but
Yeah.
there are people who solve everything, like RD Sharma, RS Circle. There are a lot of maths books,
Yeah.
right? And there are people who solve only, let's say, PG modules or only one book and they crack IIT.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the number of questions that you solve. It's not
Yeah.
about the quantity, it's about the quality, like how you
All
solve.
right. All right.
Like even though
Yeah.
if you have solved only 100 questions on HackerRank, but you have done by yourself and you have really thought of that question, you didn't copy paste your solution, then I think
Yeah.
that would be better rather than you have solved 1,000 questions on Code Forces by like I mean by googling or by asking someone or by checking the comments. So that won't be of use.
Yeah, okay, okay, I understand. So you mean to say that it's more about the quality than the quantity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
All
also
right.
like I mean like phrases would not start with Code Forces. No, that's so you should not compare your first chapter with someone else last chapter, right?
Yeah.
If you
All right.
if you have seen someone, okay, talking about, okay, I do coding in Code Forces, and as a beginner you start with the Code Forces, it will make you like demotivated. Like you should start with the small thing, like let's start with HackerRank or Hacker, some easy questions, then you
Hmm.
as a next step you can jump to Code Forces or Code Safe or say maybe some other platform.
All right. All right. I get it. Okay, so this is some language specific question. Would you code in C++ for competitive programming, or would you code in Python?
So I would suggest like Python is a very good language, but the problem here is like few companies don't allow Python in their first round. The reason like a lot of things are very easy in Python, like a lot of inbuilt functions. And so my suggestion would be like if you are looking for a competitive coding, you must be knowing one
Yeah.
OOPS, like any object-oriented programming language,
Okay.
maybe C++ or Java. Both are equally good. So anything will do.
Okay. So are there any under the hood benefits of using C++ over Python, or is it just the like would be the other few reasons so that someone would go for C++ and see some of the object-oriented programming? What are the benefits?
Okay, so let's talk about Node.js. Like everyone is doing Node.js, and Node.js is built on top of the C++. So you know, right? A
Okay.
lot of languages they have come out from the C and C++. So
Oh,
these are the mother of all other languages. So if you are knowing that, means you are working at network level, you are working at socket level, you are working at OS level. So that's why this is important. Like, and if you work with C++ or maybe Java also, you will come to know all the fundamentals.
our next round is really even more interesting. It's something like if you could go back in time.
Okay.
I will be putting you in a situation
Hmm.
where you would have to choose, you would have to choose your reaction if you could go back in time. So it will be hypothetical, but we all of us have some memory which we want to go back in time and fix.
Okay.
So rooting from this, my first question to you would be, what would be the one thing you would have started doing earlier if you could go back in time? Obviously related to placements.
Okay, so I think like I started competitive coding really late. Like in first year, I was more into development. Even in second year, I was more into development. So I started competitive coding. I mean, like I started devoting more time in competitive coding from third year. So I should have done from first year itself. Like I feel. So at that time, I thought that I had a misconception that okay, I should focus more on development side rather than coding a lot. So that is something like I made a mistake. So everyone should code from very first day of college till last day of college.
Okay, okay. So, okay, I understand. All right. So my next question would be, one habit you would want to develop that would make you much more productive and help in time management. If you could go back in time, what would be the one habit you would want to develop?
Okay, so let's talk about VIT only. So in VIT, what happens like I think like you get just 15 days of like free time. After 15 days, we'll start getting digital assignments, projects, cats and all, and we get really busy and we don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
time to work for competitive coding and all. But I
yeah.
believe like we should actually like fix let's say 1 hour at least every day to devote yourself towards your goal. Like let's say towards placement. Like if you are working for that, so every day, like you should maintain a streak on maybe HackerRank or maybe GitHub or maybe Interview Bit, wherever you are coding. It's like just like you maintain a, I mean, streak on Snapchat. Like people who
Yeah,
are
yeah,
on Snapchat, even during exams, they don't break their streaks, right? The
yeah, yeah.
same way, you should not break your streak on HackerRank or maybe GitHub. So this is a
All
good
right, all
habit
right.
that everyone should have this.
So there are things like 100 days of code and some similar things. So you feel
Yes,
that having a momentum and developing it into your habit, daily routine is a very beneficial thing. You would have started that earlier, right?
yes, true. I mean,
All
like
right.
that consistency is really important in coding. Like, if you are not regular to coding, like let's say if you have coded for let's say 1 month and then you took a break of 15 days, and again if you start coding, so you won't be on the same pace. Like you'll feel like you
Oh,
have forgotten something. So it's all about like regular, consistent practice. So and coding can't be done in a single night. That's what I feel.
okay, okay, all right, all right. So, as I've heard this somewhere that whatever is worth having takes time. So this is, I guess, competitive coding is one of those things.
Mhm. What is again? I didn't
Uh,
get
I
it.
I said that what I've heard it somewhere that whatever is worth having
Mhm.
takes time. So I
Okay.
guess Competitive
Yes,
programming is one of those
true.
things worth having which take time. All right.
Yes.
So my next question to you would be, it's somewhat tricky. So would you go out clubbing on a Friday night or sit down and learn something new over the weekend?
No,
Something more.
actually, so this is something like I think you should actually chill. Like we used to do party on Friday nights because like once you work for like continuously work for, you need your brain needs some rest, right? Then only you can think better. So it's not like you should be a geek. Like coding doesn't require you to be. It requires smart work, not hard work. Like I must say, like it's
Okay.
not, I mean, solving maths or solving physics that you need to sit for 6 hours continuously. It's like you just like code for 1 hour, but with happy mood, not with depressed mood or
Mhm.
very frustrated mood. So I think that should, like, you should go out with friends and you should hang out with friends during weekends.
Yeah, yeah. As we all know that all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you feel that we should be always on the go, enjoy coding, and not just do it because of placements, right? We should
Yeah,
actually
means
enjoy
don't
the
take it
process.
as burden actually.
Yeah, yeah,
So just enjoy this, like make it a habit, like just spend 1 hour
yeah.
in happy mood. It's not like that you are coding, so you can have like play music, or you can, while talking also you can
Mhm.
code. Like it depends upon like person to person, but the main
Mhm.
motive here is don't take it as burden.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand. So, linked to this question, I wanted to discuss the importance of learning new things in this 21st century. As we all know, all the big companies, they always keep giving you new tech stacks. You need to keep learning on things on the go. So, I want to really discuss the importance of the habit of constantly being able to learn new things.
Okay, so I'll tell you one thing, like learning new things is really good, but the one thing, like if you talk about the JD of any fresher, right, like SD1 of any company, so they never mention any specific tech stack there. So they will mention something like, okay, we need excellent verbal and written communication, good experience in data structure and algorithm, knowledge of any OOPS, right, and then knowledge of fundamentals of operating system, like that. So there they never mention that you should be a good machine learning, you should be good in MATLAB, you should be good in computer vision. No, never. Like you can check this out. Like I don't think that few startups can put some restriction that they want people from Node.js, they want people from React, or they want people from some tech stack. But yeah, if you talk about the product-based companies, the MNCs and all, so they never put any restriction that we want people from any tech stack. So it's good to learn, but learn the tech stack to build some project. Let's say if you have learned Node.js or if you have learned React, and if you don't build any project out of that, then it's of no use, right? So if you mention in the
Mhm.
resume in skill React and you don't have any good project on that, so it's of no use. Like if you have a project, then you can explain that. So I think like
Mhm.
learn a skill, build a project, then only, like it's about building, not about learning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as you said earlier, there is no point of having too much knowledge without, being able to express and benefit others through that skill, right? Like for example, if I know web dev or machine learning, if I don't make something that actually affects people's life in a good way, it's not really a skill then.
Yes, yes. So I have seen like a lot of like people in resume, like when we screen resume, I can see like in most of the people resumes we'll find
Yeah,
ML projects, and everywhere the same
yeah.
projects. Like even database project will be same. Like let's say some they are using the same model and they are doing the same 10 lines of Python code, but that won't make much difference in your interview and during your resume
Yeah.
screening. So if you have something that's solving any problem, let's say if you have something that solving some city problem or water problem or electricity problem, that is something better to show, right? That should have some, like it's not about the project, it's about the product, like it's about the solution to a problem. So here
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just simply do a project. No, think of a problem, come up with a solution. So
All
if
right, all
you
right.
if you have such projects, then definitely it's gonna make a difference during our interview.
So, all right. So, I often see people, making to-do lists and,
Mhm.
following tutorials and directly making that project which other mentors have made. So, I feel that you mean to say that try to solve a problem, make someone's life easier, and that is the real value of the skill you have learned. Like
It's
copying
true.
to-do lists and making copied projects are not much worth in the resume, right?
Yes. So let's say if you have made to-do list as well from copying itself, but make it work. I mean, like you should at least add something new there, and that should be
Mm.
consumable by, I mean, users. And you should actually, so see, like in resume, the numbers matter a lot. Like let's say you have written, I have created a to-do list. No one will give like care about this. Like once you mention that I have created a to-do list and it's live on web store or any play store, and it's being used by, let's say, even 100 people, that also makes a difference. It's being used by 100 people, because companies pay you because they sell their services, right? You have to make something that companies can sell. So from like from students point of view also, you should think of something like when you write some project. So even if you do machine learning project, you should mention the numbers, like I have done this model, I have used some, let's say, Kaggle data set, but I have improved the algorithm and now accuracy is 99%. Earlier it
Mm.
was 97%. So this even slight difference, 2% difference, will make a
Yeah.
huge difference in your resume.
All right. So you mean to say, even if we are copying, even if we are making something which is already there, we should provide some value on top of that, right?
Yes, true.
All right.
And then
Very good.
to-do list, I mean, doing to-do list and copying the projects from the tutorials is really important. Like that's how you learn. I mean, that's a practical learning. But yeah, but think of something like that's just a start. Like you should extend that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. All right. So, uh, all right. So all of us do some mistakes, right? We have all done something wrong, something, and many things right. But what would be the one thing, one mistake which you wouldn't want to repeat if you could go back in time?
Yeah, means like if you talk about the
Other than
case study.
starting competitive coding earlier, what would be the bigger mistake, something you missed, something you did wrong?
So one thing like I mean, like when I was in maybe second year, I heard from someone about Google Summer of Code. At the time, like I was not sure like how to get into that. So I thought that it's Google. So how can be a part of that? So I didn't
Yeah.
apply and I didn't explore that. And now like the time is gone. Like now I'm mentor there, I'm project admin there, but I can't be a part as a student. So these are few
Yeah.
things. Like at the time I have limitations. Like I used to think, okay, I'm in VIT, I don't think like I'll be able to crack that. So that is something like you should not limit.
All right, all right. So you should never, you mean to say you should never, underestimate yourself and never judge yourself and limit yourself through your thoughts. We are
Yes.
capable of many good things. All right.
So
So,
once you are in networking, my previous answer, that once you are in club or chapter, you are in touch with good people, they'll definitely tell
yeah,
you according to their experience. Like when I
yeah.
was in second year, I could have contacted somebody and they could have motivated me. Like it's not about the college.
All right, all right. So, all right. So let's move on to the next section. It's
Mhm.
something like fill in the blanks or complete the sentence. So I'll be giving you a blank or a sentence. So you would have to, explain or fill in the whole thing. All right.
Yes.
So my first question would be, to you would be, only if I could do dash, I would have landed a better job, better than postman, maybe.
Coding, competitive coding, obviously.
If, all right. So you mean to say if you could have done even more competitive coding, you would have landed a better job.
Yes, for sure.
Or so this facts, this people keep asking, should I do this? Should I do that? So this is a slap in the face to all the questions, and you mean to say that competitive coding is the way to go?
Yes, so it's like, so competitive coding is the minimum criteria. Let's say you have
Yeah.
done very good projects. Like if you are not able to crack the first round only, how can you showcase your projects and skills, right? So for
Yeah.
all the bigger companies, the first screening round would be competitive coding. There will be a coding
Yeah.
round, and after that also there will be. So let's talk about Google here. All the 5 rounds are competitive coding, data structure algo.
Yeah.
Amazon, all the rounds are data structure algo and all. Let's talk about the Postman. The first round itself is the coding round, and all the subsequent round are coding only, data structure and all. We talk about, I mean, like these things like JavaScript and your projects as well. But that's something like if you have. If you don't have, then also there is no problem. We'll talk only about data structure. So it just gives you an edge. Like let's say if you,
All right.
the
Yeah.
interview round is for 1 hour, so interviewer
Hmm.
might take 20 minutes to talk about your skills, talk about your projects.
All right. So some people had asked very frequently that how do we stand out in a campus placement, because thousands of people are sitting, and thousands of students are on a similar level as you. So how do you stand out from all the crowd? So
So
maybe
so
this answer will help you. The
okay, so
previous
in
answer.
I mean, like, let's talk about the VIT only. So I think in first round we used to sit for 2,000 people, sometimes more than 2,000 people, including Chennai and Vellore campus. And out of 2,000 people, the after coding, only 30 students or 50 students are shortlisted. So the
Oh my
competition is
God.
really tough there. So it's like, I mean, like if you run all the code, then also there are no chances that you will get shortlisted. It's
Okay.
You should be like the one who runs the code with better complexity, and there are marks, right?
Okay.
So even like, let's say if you are
Okay.
running the code for O of n square and I'm running the same code for O of n, I'll get more score than you. So it's about the
Okay.
complexity and all. So this is
All
something
right.
really important. So you can see the competition, right? In VIT, like in my time, so now the population is increased in VIT. So there were more than 2,000 in the first round, and we used to get shortlisted only 30 to 50 students after first round.
Okay. All right, all right. So competitive coding is really, really important. Lesson of the session is that. All right. So just to mix in the latest happenings around the world in the interview, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to give you a blank that Corona might change dash in the IT industry.
Okay, so might change the openings because now there are a lot of, I mean, startups, they are shutting down, and there are a lot of bigger companies who are facing loss. So they have they have closed their hiring, they have freeze their hiring. So it's just Corona has just increased the, I mean, competition, but the opportunities are same, I believe. Like the last year, the same opportunity, here also the same opportunity. But the thing is, like, let's say some XYZ company used to hire, let's say, 1,000 freshers. This year the company would hire, let's say, 500 or maybe 200, but they will definitely hire, but the competition is really tough now.
All right. So you mean to say almost half or one fourth people would be hired.
uh yeah, means, yeah,
So,
I mean,
so
like the
that's something
chances,
to really worry about.
yeah, I mean, like 40%, I mean 40 to 60% you can see the, I mean, decrease in the number of openings.
I understand. I understand. All right. So now I'll ask you some open-ended questions, right? Like they're open for interpretation and totally dependent on your views. All right. So my first question would be, uh, this is now that we have talked for at least 40 minutes, it's now very obvious that if I asked you what was the single most important thing for getting placed in a big company, what would that be and why? But I guess it's very obvious now.
Yeah, it's coding, yeah. Like coding and data success is most important. Like without, so you will feel like handicapped if you don't know
Yes.
coding and you are in computer science and IT, because this is something like every company focuses on that. Like not even like, even after 2 years of experience, also if you go for any product based company, there also will face the same. There will be data success around, there will be algorithms around, so it won't make difference. Like till 2 years of experience, you will be counted as freshers only, and for freshers, coding is the most important. And I believe that you can code more better during college, and once you join the company, like you won't get much time to practice competitive coding or data structure, so you can feel the, I mean, the difference, right? It's gonna help you in future as well, like after your first job as well.
All right. So now my next question would be, what are the things that you feel people generally ignore while sitting for placements?
Ignore.
For coding. Yeah, like coding, it's obvious now. What is the thing other than coding which matters, but generally people ignore that?
HR round, I believe, like everyone ignores. And but you know, in HR round, let's say like you will face questions like, tell me about yourself. I'm damn sure like I can't do that. Like if somebody asks me, tell me about yourself for 2 minutes, I can't speak for 2 minutes about myself. That's really tough. Like I believe that everyone should practice this question. You should have some, like, at least some ready-made answer in your brain. And if I ask you, like, tell me 5 strengths of you, you won't be able
Yeah.
to speak immediately. Five
Yes, yes, yes.
weaknesses of you. So all these
Yeah, yeah.
questions, and let's say if I ask you, where do you see yourself after 5 years? So you
All
can't
right.
answer now. So you should
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
focus in these as well, because this is really important. Like this makes you like stand out from others, like the way you think.
Okay.
And like I have heard answers like when people ask in HR, where do you see yourself after 5 years? I have heard answers like, okay, I can be CEO of the company, or I can be at your place. So this might
Okay.
hurt the feelings of the interviewer, right? So when somebody asks you, where do you see yourself after 5 years, simply means they wants to ask you whether you will retain with them for 5 years or not, right? You should say something like, okay, so I'll be some more experienced developer, and I must have done something that will add value to the organization, right? and somebody
Yeah,
make mistakes, they will say I'll be CEO, I'll do something, some hypothetical. So there should be some stretch in your dreams, but it should be something that you can achieve while
yeah. Okay.
answering. I mean, you can
Yeah,
dream
yeah.
anything, like sky is the limit, as they say. But yes.
As you said that I cannot answer if I'm asked tell me about yourself. You would feel you would feel a little uncomfortable. So have you ever received a slack off of that? Like have it has it troubled you being not able to answer? Like have you ever faced difficulty only due to HR even though your competitive coding
Yes,
was good?
yes. So I remember in one of my interview in Shell, I guess like the after first round, the round was the technical, supposed to be technical, but they used to ask question according to related to my projects, and they were asking like what is the most challenging thing that you have solved. So I started answering in the technical form, like so the integration between backend and front end was tough. So the guy told me, no, we are not talking about the technical complexity. So have you solved any conflicts in your teams? Have you ever found something like that you should solve?
Yeah,
So these questions I was blank. Like I thought, like, we are very
yeah.
friendly. We don't fight within the team
Yeah,
members. So these
yeah,
questions actually, like, you should be prepared with this. And then
yeah,
sometimes they used to ask like, what is the future scope of this project? So you would go blank if you haven't practiced, you haven't done the
yeah,
project very carefully,
yeah,
and then it will give you something else. Sometimes, like, even if you talk about, like, let's say they might ask you like, why you have you chosen React, why not Vue, why not this, then you should be
Mm-hmm.
answerable.
All right. So you mean to say that it's not just the code, it's not just the logic, it's more of a all around personality
Yes,
and
true.
confidence and general knowledge and confidence in your decisions. All these things matter. They judge
True,
you as
true,
a person along with
true.
the skill.
Yeah. So say, like, say if you see as a skill, like, what does the company looks for? The first thing is the communication. Second thing is the decision making skill, and the third thing is that you should be a problem solver. So all these three includes to your personality, like. So and
Yeah.
all these are just when you answer even the coding questions, no, how you are making decisions, how you are writing your code, and how clean you
Yeah.
write the code. So when you write the code in the paper, like, you declare variables as int x or something, like, you
Yeah.
write function my function. What does it?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Like, if
Yeah.
this is a function which is merging to linked list, you should name it as function merge linked list. That
Yeah.
makes a
Yeah.
sense. Like, it makes your code one level up to rate. So I believe
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
these things makes you a better candidate
Yeah,
in
yeah.
interview.
All right. I understand. Okay. So my next question would be very, very personalized. So how was your experience in Postman? And why do I ask this question? Let me justify it. Because I want to know how is working in a big company different than working in a smaller one or in a startup, for better or worse? Like, how is it different? What perks or disadvantages you face working in a big company? Like,
Okay,
why should people only prepare for big companies? What are the benefits or the disadvantages?
so it's like there are pros and cons of both. I mean, mid-range companies, startups, and product-based
Yeah.
company. So like once you work with like a company with a very small team, there you will get more authority, more responsibility, and you will learn a lot. Like, let's say in Postman, like when I joined, I think we were not even 50, I guess 50 or 60 people were there. So we were like in very small team, and we used to communicate with our CTOs, CEOs, and all. So there was no communication gap between the team, and we used to take part in the decision making, like how does this product gonna help people
Oh,
and all. So
okay.
these will help you to evolve as a, I mean, like a good thinker, good decision maker. But let's talk about the bigger companies where there are 5,000 employees or 10,000 employees. There will be a
Mm.
huge communication gap between your senior employees, let's say CTO, CEO, and vice presidents, and you. So
Mm.
there you will
Yeah.
be a small part of the, like, a very big company. So let's say, let's talk about some XYZ company. I'm not naming any company. And there, let's say there are 10,000 employees. So there you will be inside the company also, you'll be part of a small team. But
Yeah.
once you work for a small company or a small team, you will be part of the company. You'll have a
Mm.
whole context about the company. So this is
Yeah.
something, one thing. And the other thing, like, there you will be part of like the whole software development life cycle, right? From, like,
Yeah.
let's say, from conceptualization, and then the development part, and then testing part,
Yeah.
and also the maintenance as well. So this will
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
you a feel of the whole software development life cycle. So this is a
Mm.
good thing about working in a good small team. And in bigger companies, you might have little work pressure, but in smaller companies you might face a very high work pressure
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, because it's a small team. You will have a lot of responsibilities, and
All
with
right, all right,
responsibilities there are a lot of problems as well, like you might feel some
all
work
right, all
pressure.
right.
But yeah, for learning I think the startups would be better, small team
All
would be
right.
better.
So could it be like we should intern in startups and look for placements? We should focus on big companies. Is that a right analogy to go ahead with?
So like if you want to intern in startup, so the best time would be second year, like maybe in the fourth semester you should join some startup, because if you join any growing startup now, you will learn a lot. Like
Yes,
they
yes.
will building everything from the scratch, so you will start from the scratch and you will learn something, and you will actually build something that you can talk to someone, you can talk about that. So I think like that would be helpful. Like if you do, let's say if you go for any bigger companies and there you haven't contributed much, so that's won't gonna make a difference, right? So it's,
Yes, yes.
so you should have some confidence, like just
Yeah.
simply writing in resume that you have interned somewhere, and if somebody asks you like what you have done there, so you should know your contribution, right?
Vineet, shall we wrap it up now?
Yeah, sure. So
It
thank you
was
so much,
great
Sitish.
talking to you. We really, really most deeply appreciate your effort and time to come and explain bitwise, bit by bit, every single detail. Thank you for letting us in on the secrets, all the exact tools to use, all the heartfelt, advice. So we really, really, really appreciate your effort. We really appreciate your time, and thank you. We hope to see you again in the future, maybe helping us with some other thing. And we have nothing but gratitude with us in our hearts. Thank you once again, and I'm sure you really touched lives and helped people today.
Thanks, Sitish. Just I can see like few of my friends have joined. I just want to give them a like mention like all Sarmishta is there, and then Archit is
Yes,
there,
yes,
Shreya is there, Reva is there, and Salu is there, Nitesh is there. Thanks everyone to join this session. Like I'm glad to see my friends here. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, and thanks Sitish for having me. It's really
yes, yes.
nice to be
It's
talking
been
to
my
you, and
pleasure.
and yeah, sure.
Yes, thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
guys.
Hope to see you again in the future. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you.